An artist's duty, as far as I'm concerned, is to reflect the times. I think that is true of painters, sculptors, poets, musicians. As far as I'm concerned, it's their choice. But I choose to reflect the times and the situations in which I find myself.
Happy Hump Day, everybody.
Good evening, bitches.
It's your girl, Rika Pesos.
It's your man, Casual.
Hey, y'all, it's Gia.
Yo, it's TJ.
And we are the Educated Hoodlums. Thank y'all for tuning in for yet another week. All right, y'all. So this week, we're going to do things slightly different. We're just going to talk about a pop culture event. We're not going to edit this episode, so you're getting the raw, uncut, real, so we can make sure we get this to y'all before your hump day ends.
That was so ridiculous.
I mean,
yeah,
no
man.
editing.
Straight up.
Without further ado, here is the clip.
Really bothers me and honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity is the fact that there are all these women throwing themselves, but me the past 10 years I don't have any of that. I have zero, this sounds weird, but male attention. And so then I begin to internalize it, and I'm is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not even.
But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too, and I was young, like you.
Yeah,
oh my God. I mean, because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that someone's looking.
But
that
when your radar's turned off,
right?
that can get real dangerous.
Don't ever think for 1 minute that it ain't some men out there looking at you like I wish. Honestly. And I'm gonna tell you who knows that more than anybody.
Your husband.
All right, so what y'all just heard was a live clip from the Red Table Talk episode where the women of the Curry household, Steph Curry's wife, Dale Curry's wife, his mother, his sister, soon-to-be sister-in-law, all sat down with Jada Pinkett and her mom and daughter for the Red Table Talk. And Ayesha Curry expressed feeling somewhat self-conscious about men not approaching her. And she's getting roasted on social media because of that. What do y'all think?
I think that she should. Obviously, social media take things to a whole nother level. But when you go to say, you get zero attention, then that makes me think you're not getting it from Steph. If you say zero, and then when you go to say that you having insecurities because other people outside of your husband, isn't commenting on how you look and telling you you're pretty and different things like that. I think that's an issue. I feel like if you're getting it at home, then that should be satisfaction enough. And then if you're not, you should be seeking it from your husband, not anybody else.
I don't know. I just feel like it's very human. I feel like she's, every woman or every person at some point in life is going to want to know that they still got it. She's the mother of 3. She's a hard worker. She kind of flies under the radar. And I feel like my heart goes out to any person that has a famous spouse or partner. You're flying under the radar because of who your partner is. So she's constantly outshined, even though she does have a lot of success in her own right. And I feel like because of that, it does get hard. I feel like at the end of the day, people in my family always say, everybody wants to be with somebody that somebody else wants. You want people to be like, oh, yeah, man, fine, or at least know you ain't dealing with no ugly duckling. And I think that's a very true reminder of this. This is that perfect case. Ayesha just wants to know that she still got it, and girl, you do. There's even songs about her, so I don't even know why this even came up, but nonetheless.
Well, I guess to speak to that and your point that she wants to know that she still has it or still got it, I would say I just don't think she's had the opportunity to ever know if she had it for real. How could you say you still got it? How did you know you had it to begin with? If you married relatively early, you've had children, you've pretty much been in this bubble for the majority or the greater part of your life. Your adult life, pretty much the whole time, you've pretty much been settled down. So to see that, it's hard to now determine. Okay, do I have it now, or like, do I yearn this attention? I think everyone wants some sort of attention, whether they admit it or not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go as far as to say as Steph does not give her attention. I'm sure he gives her plenty of attention, but I think she sees him and she compares. She draws the comparison. She sees his life as a microcosm of something that she could also have. So while he's getting all this attention, I'm his wife. I'm on his arm, and yet men don't seem to. I don't seem to draw these men in the same scores as he does. Like, so what am I missing now?
Yeah, and I get those thoughts. My thing is like when you allow it to become an insecurity, like you know that's where I feel like those things shouldn't allow you to be insecure.
You think? I mean, honestly, do we think she's really insecure? Do you think it's more of a talking point for her, or do you think that really she's feeling a way about this? Like,
I think she really probably feels a way about it. Like a lot of the comments in support of her or affirming her feelings were saying things like, she just had a third child. And women have they go through changes with their body image and things like that after childbirth. This is her third baby. And so, whereas Steph producing these kids and XYZ makes him more attractive, maybe in her mind it makes her less attractive. So when you say how does she know she ever had it? Maybe at one point she did have more people kind of shooting their shot at her, and now it's nothing.
She got 3 kids.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
like I said, what's interesting is the dichotomy of for a man who takes care of his family and takes care of his kids, he becomes more attractive. But a woman, the more kids she has, even though she is a wife, she becomes less attractive.
And then you got to add on the fact too, she is still very relatively young. She's 30 years old. She just turned 30 a few months ago. So, I think that needs to be into play too. She's leaving her 20s where most desirable women are in their 20s. A lot of people want to be the young and hip somebody on someone's arm. So that needs to be added to just the factors here.
She left her 20s and has just entered her 30s without experiencing the also quintessential whole phase.
Is that
she's not experienced? She's not going through a whole phase. I think someone said that's super profound. That is the epitome of someone who has not gone through it. It builds your character.
Hoeing builds character. Put it on the
team. Hey, listen,
Hoeing builds character.
But not to say do it again. Same thing with anything else. Be intentional about it.
Be intentional about your whole phase.
Stand in it. And do the shit with conviction. You mean it.
You are doing too much. Shut up. What in the world?
How do you be intentional about your whole phase?
About tying souls with someone.
No, because listen, because some people just do shit that's another thing. Some people might draw a distinction between what's a hoe and what's not a hoe. Some people say, okay, you're just sleeping around with a bunch of people, you're being a hoe. Now, one person could say, you know what? I actually had real feelings of connection with all these people. Does that make me a hoe? If I dealt with these people one at a time, and during those moments with them, we were actually into it and fully engaged with one another.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel you.
What?
No, for real.
I'm not speaking to myself or giving nobody a pass. My bad, but I'm not giving nobody a pass. But I think that's credible.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know how we got to that.
Because he said the reason why she's feeling these insecurities is because she never had her whole face. It builds the confidence in you. Once you get it out of your system. But I don't know if you got a hold.
Okay, maybe the whole. I don't think you should take it as literal as it sounds. She never stepped off the porch and just been. She wasn't able to be courted by others. I don't think, and not in a while. If I'm to believe she's been with Steph for the past
teenagers,
at least the past decade, probably beyond. She has not got the experience to see, what the rest of the world has to offer, or no one's come at her. And men have been respectful of her marriage.
I think that's what it is more so than anything. is the respect that's shown or that has been shown to her as a married woman that isn't always shown by other women to married men. So a woman will pursue a married man before a man will pursue a married woman. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. And my thing is, if she said that, I've had kids, my weight fluctuated, I looked in the mirror, I wasn't, happy to see what I saw, or different things like that. Like, I get that, and I can understand where those insecurities come. But when your gauge is that other men outside your marriage does not give you attention, and that's why you have some insecurities, that's where I question, like, okay, like, why are you looking, to other people, to make you feel, for validation, to make you feel good.
Like I said, and I don't want to say, like, I'm not sure if she needs the validation. I'm sure she's comfortable in her situation, her marriage, and home that they built together. I do think it's just she wants some of that, like, assurance and reinforcement, and knowing that, okay, outside of this household, I am somewhat of a commodity. I'm not just someone that's married to a professional basketball player, and everything I've gotten since then has been a merit or a credit to him.
Mm-hmm.
I can stand alone and do my thing, and people would be galvanized by me. I can attract people.
Yeah.
I can draw crowds of people, and not just because, okay, that's Steph Curry's wife.
I agree.
I mean, I think it also has a lot to do with what Gia said initially. Like, everybody wants to feel wanted, because it's kind of like a thing that, like, she knows she could lose her husband. Like, there's like this little, I value you a little bit more because I know people want it. It's the reason why, like, Jordan limited releases sell out. I want it more because it's limited, and I know a lot of other people want it. And so I think that maybe she feels as though she could potentially become less valued if you feel like nobody wants it.
I mean, but I've been in long relationships, and until they, like, didn't go well, like, while they was going well, I didn't want to get attention from other people. Like I didn't seek that. I didn't feel a way about it. Now, if I got it, that's cool, but, like, I never, like, damn, I wish somebody would look at me and wink at me or anything like
I saw a meme that literally said Ayesha Curry wants one of them, oh, that's you, nephew, okay. Yeah. She just wants that. It don't have to be like I'm getting flirted with, like, or somebody wants me. She just want to be like, okay, girl, you look good. I see, like, you straying down the street. You look good, girl. It don't have to be all of this extra. Like, she just wants, she's a human. She wants validation. That's all it really comes down to.
Yeah, like affirmation.
Affirmation that
she's still a trophy.
Not even a trophy.
No, like, and a trophy's not a bad thing. But, like, a trophy is something that you earned. Like, it's not necessarily a negative thing. It's not just for the look. But, like, it's something that you earn, that you value, that other people will want. Like, oh, man, that's what's up. That's a nice trophy. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like, once again, like, I get it, but I don't understand why, like, you feel like, like you're seeking for that, or you feel insecure when you don't get it. Because if she's with her girls or whatever, like, I find it hard pressed for them not to comment her. Like, if you're getting that attention at home from your husband, like, I don't understand, like, how you're getting insecure because you're not getting it from other men outside of your husband. Like,
I mean, I feel like coming from, like, being a woman, I feel like your friends are supposed to say, girl, like, they're supposed to hype you up. That's what good girlfriends do. I feel like it's not every day that you get that, like, oh, a man thinks you're attractive. Like, and it does feel good. I really, like, one of the things I feel like her biggest takeaway could be from this, rather than it be like, oh, well, shame on you for wanting a male's attention, is really comparison kills. Like, all of this comparison, you're not Steph, Ayesha, you're you, and you should walk in your lane and be happy in your purpose. And You know, if you're not being recognized by them, your husband hopefully is doing it. I hope he is. And if he's not, then I feel like there may be a deeper issue there.
And to me, I think that's what it is. I feel like that she's probably not getting it as much as she would like at home. Whether it's because Steph is gone or he just, isn't doing it as much. I feel like that's the issue. Like, more than anything.
That could be it. I could see that. But in any case, I don't think the backlash that she's received on social media was warranted.
Has it been? Maybe I've not been tuning in as much, but I've seen a bunch of supportive people that empathize with her as well. So
Nah, I've seen more like Ayesha Curry bashers calling her insecure and all types of things.
I think people just want something to say and talk about. Those are I think most of that is like just those are hot takes.
You know what I would say? She's human. Just like everybody else. I don't know why everybody's always trying to break people down because they're human. Just because she's in the spotlight doesn't mean she's not human.
Yeah, but her comments make it seem like she's seeking that though. Like that's my
Seeking
problem.
what?
Like validation from other men.
But I mean, so she verbalized hers, but what are these IG thoughts doing when they put on a bikini and take a picture of their ass?
Man, that ain't the same.
I don't.
Yes,
Like-
it is.
I want the.
That
I
ain't the
mean,
same.
At some point, like anybody with social media, to me,
Well, I would
you're
totally-
seeking validation.
I
to a
don't think.
degree.
See, I think that's. See, okay. I would draw the line between those, and I wouldn't compare those. One, because I think when someone's like on the spot in the moment during an interview and they say something, I don't want to be that unfair to hold them to everything they said and judge them based upon something they said in a few seconds with probably not a lot of thought going into it. I posted someone on Instagram, they posted a picture or video that was like kind of more well thought out, rehearsed,
My thing
caption
is,
put together, and then they decided to post it. I think that's different.
but my thing is, anybody with social media, to a certain extent, you're seeking validation.
Yeah. And I think that at the end of the day, I mean, she was being honest, and I mean, I don't knock her for that. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think that it's that big of a deal. But at the same time, she also led with, "I know that it's weird." So I feel like she knew that that's not necessarily just normal; that it is different.
I think that was more of a disclaimer to get kind of people on board. Just think you don't know
Yeah.
which way it's gonna go, but then once people agree with you, it's okay. It's like when you say something like she says, like I have an unpopular opinion. She's fishing. She don't know if it's that unpopular yet, and so she puts it out in front of people, and then people decide, okay, yeah, I agree with you. You're not
Nah,
full of
most
shit.
of the time I
Yeah,
know. I'm
yeah.
about
I
to say
feel I
something
feel like she knew that it
the
was weird.
majority of people
Like-
aren't gonna agree with.
Yeah, I feel like she knew that it was weird. Like,
I think she may have meant it was like weird for her to say out loud, but I feel like, not even unfortunately, realistically, there are a lot of women who think like her. There are a lot of men who probably think like her too and just don't want to admit it. You always want to
But
be
guess
the
what?
attractive person on somebody's arm.
But
It
guess
is
what's
what
been
it is.
accomplished by all this?
Nothing.
She popping now. She trending tonight.
Oh, boo. I hope some men make some more rap songs about you now.
This was calculated.
I mean,
She
but
got-
have any of you guys, been in a long-term relationship and felt the way if you wasn't getting attention outside of the relationship?
Hell yeah.
people
It's
supposed
you
to
want to
go
know
in a
that you
relationship.
still got
that's
it.
just the
Like
way
you
gotta
want
go.
to. I mean, I was in a super long relationship young, and I wanted to know. Like you get used to certain attraction, like people, oh, you cute with XYZ, shooting a shot. You get used to it. You want to know that you still have it. It doesn't. You being human does not change once you get into a relationship. It's flattering. It's a reason why people put their best foot forward. It's flattering. Somebody acknowledges, like, okay, you look nice.
I
or
definitely get that,
you're
but
attractive and desirable.
if you don't get it, do you feel a way about it?
If you have, self-esteem it fluctuates. I feel like you can.
And now, I get what you're saying,
Like-
because my thing is, if I'm really into the relationship,
Yeah, like-
I care if I don't get it from my partner.
Exactly, that's
it's
it.
like, yo, you ain't tell me I was cute today.
Like if somebody else, of course, like being in a relationship, if somebody else like, oh, you cute, like that makes me feel good. But at the end of the day, like if I'm, nobody else outside of the relationship is, I'm going to seek that attention to make myself feel good. If anything, I'm going to seek it from my partner.
No, that's real. I can agree with that.
Yeah, on myself.
I always think I'm cute, but it's nice.
We know. Oh, trust, we know. That's what I say.
I understand what you're saying. If you are in a relationship and you value the relationship and your partner, then that's the opinion that matters the most.
So maybe words of affirmation is her love language, and Steph obviously needs to exercise it. I don't know.
And that's what I think is.
Don't
her
seem
love
like
language.
don't seem like you be really carrying into too much of this shit for real. Like
Cause he's
Stephanie,
busy.
yeah, but Stephanie ain't even.
And I think that's
Stephanie ain't even
ultimately,
thinking
I
about
think
getting in
that's
shape
what
up.
it
He
is.
ain't thinking about this old type of shit. Like, he ain't got time to concern himself with this trivial shit. Like, he good.
I mean, that is trivial shit. Is his wife? Like, let's stop acting like it's just.
I don't think he's taking it as seriously as it was put out there. I think even her,
No.
she's since come to kind of elaborate a bit, and I don't think it's that.
Unpopular opinion. I have an unpopular opinion. I also think who she's surrounding herself with will influence her self-esteem, because I could tell from that interview his dad had cheated on his mom at some point and his mom had put up with it. And I think that when you are around people who have had those types of experiences, it will make you question yourself in your relationship. And so you also got to watch the company you keep. I know it's her mama-in-law,
Right.
but you got to watch
I
that.
mean, but realistically,
And taking other people's problems into your relationship.
yeah, but and then realistically, she is in a, like, that's a part of the, unfortunately, a part of the league. Like, a lot of men get like warped by groupies and end up having affairs. So it's like that. She probably hangs out with a lot of basketball wives or basketball hoes, whichever one. So comes with the territory a little bit.
Moral of the story: watch the company you keep. Love on your mate. Tell your boo, tell bae, you look good today.
And all Rika's Instagram thoughts can tell her she looks good tomorrow.
Man, this has been the
We all just
educated.
want the love.
We all do just want the love. This
We
has
wanna be
been
around some love.
the Educated Hoodlums podcast. This again, raw episode 1.5. We'll be hitting y'all with episode 2, the official episode 2, next week. Until then, happy hump day. It's your girl Rika Pesos.
It's your man Casual.
It's Gia, y'all.
It's TJ.
And we out.